Have you ever wondered why some people stay calm even when life gets crazy? In today's world full of noise, stress, and pressure, finding inner peace feels almost impossible. We're always rushing, comparing, and worrying, and it's exhausting. But what if I told you that ancient Buddhist wisdom has simple but powerful lessons that can guide us to a more peaceful, balanced life right now, no matter where we are or what we're going through? I get it, life feels overwhelming sometimes. We all want peace, but most of us don't know where to start. That's okay. You're not alone. In this video, I'll walk you through 10 powerful Buddhist secrets that have helped millions live with more calm, clarity, and purpose. So take a deep breath, grab a quiet moment, and let's explore how you can find peace from the inside out. Stick around till the end, because these small insights can truly change your life. The first teaching is this: let go, just let go. At the root of nearly all suffering is one thing: attachment. We hold on too tightly. We grasp at things, people, emotions, and outcomes as if they're permanent. But life doesn't work that way. Everything is changing, moving, fading, transforming. Yet we resist. And that resistance, that's where the suffering begins. We get attached to how things should be, how someone should love us, how success should look, how our life should unfold. And when reality doesn't match the story we wrote in our heads, we feel pain, frustration, even heartbreak. We fight change. We cling to people who are already leaving. We mourn the version of ourselves we think we lost. And the tighter we cling, the more it hurts. This is where Buddhist wisdom brings in its quiet, powerful light. The Buddha taught that everything is impermanent: the people you love, the emotions you feel, even the self you think you are. When we understand this truth deeply, we stop trying to force life to stay the same. Instead, we soften. We release our grip. We allow things to come and go like waves on the shore. And in that surrender, we find peace. There is a famous Zen story. A young monk was crossing a river with his master when he saw a scorpion drowning. He reached out to save it, and it stung him. He tried again, and again it stung him. The master gently said, "Why do you keep trying?" The monk replied, "Because it's in the scorpion's nature to sting, but it's in mine to save." The master smiled and said, "Then learn to help with open hands, not clenched ones." This story reminds us, when we hold on too tightly, even our goodness becomes suffering. But when we open our hands, we can still love, still care, without being broken by the outcome. So here's your practice. When you notice yourself clinging to a thought, a person, an expectation, pause. Breathe. Ask gently, "Can I release this? Even just a little?" Letting go doesn't mean you don't care. It means you care wisely. It means you trust that life has its own rhythm, and you no longer need to fight the flow. Let go not because you're giving up, but because you're growing up. Because peace doesn't come from control, it comes from surrender. And sometimes, the most powerful thing you can do is to simply let go. The second teaching is this: train the monkey mind. Our mind is like a monkey, always jumping, chattering, swinging from thought to thought, rarely still. We wake up and the noise begins. Regret from yesterday, worry about tomorrow, 100 what-ifs pulling us in every direction. This endless mental chatter becomes our constant companion, leaving us restless, anxious, and disconnected from the present moment. The problem is not that we think thinking is natural. The problem is that we're lost in thought. We mistake our thoughts for reality. We believe every fear, every judgment, every voice that rises in the mind, even when it brings us pain. Left untrained, the mind pulls us away from peace, just like a wild monkey tearing through a quiet forest. Buddhist wisdom offers us a gentle but powerful way forward. The Buddha taught that the mind can be trained, just like the body, through mindfulness and awareness. We can become the master of our thoughts instead of their prisoner. We learn to observe the monkey, not fight it, not silence it, but simply watch it. And in that watching, the mind begins to settle. Slowly, the monkey calms. The noise fades, and peace arises naturally. The solution is not to force silence, but to create space. Like a lake disturbed by wind, when we stop stirring the surface, it becomes still. This stillness doesn't come from doing more, it comes from being aware, from returning again and again to the present, to this breath, this moment, right here. Here's a simple practice. Each day, take a few minutes to sit quietly. Close your eyes, breathe naturally. Notice the thoughts that come, but don't follow them. Don't judge them. Just watch them, like clouds passing through the sky. You are not the storm, you are the sky. Over time, you'll find more gaps between the thoughts, more moments of stillness, and in that stillness, you will meet your true self. You don't need to escape your mind, you just need to know it better. When you stop wrestling with your thoughts, they lose their power. And when you make peace with the monkey, it becomes your friend, not your master. So train the mind with patience, with kindness. It won't be perfect, but it will be free. And in that freedom, peace blooms silently, softly like a lotus in still water. The third teaching is this: live by moral foundation. In our search for peace, we often chase after things outside of us: a quiet place, a new routine, even spiritual techniques. But what we forget is that true peace begins with how we live. If our actions are not in harmony, no amount of meditation will calm the mind. A life out of alignment cannot produce a heart at ease. The problem many of us face is that we live reactively. We speak in anger, act out of impulse, hurt others without meaning to, and afterward we're left with guilt, shame, and a mind full of regret. These are not just emotional weights. They become blocks to inner peace. It's like trying to walk through life with a stone in your shoe. No matter how far you go, it keeps hurting. In Buddhist wisdom, the foundation for a peaceful mind is sila, the practice of moral discipline. It's not about strict rules, punishment, or perfection. It's about living in a way that causes the least harm and cultivates the most harmony. The Buddha gave simple guidelines: do not kill, do not steal, do not lie, do not misuse your senses, and do not cloud the mind with intoxicants. These are not commandments. They are invitations to walk a path that is clean, conscious, and deeply compassionate. The solution is to live gently with awareness. When your actions come from kindness, your heart becomes lighter. You sleep better. You speak softer. You start to trust yourself. Peace arises not from having everything figured out, but from knowing you're not adding harm to the world. It's a quiet joy, the kind that doesn't need to be loud to be felt. Start with one thing. Watch your words today. Speak only what is true, helpful, and kind. Or notice your intentions before you act. Ask yourself, will this bring peace or take it away? No one gets it right all the time, but the effort, the sincerity, plants seeds. And these seeds grow into a life that feels steady, like a tree with deep roots. Living with sila doesn't make you rigid. It makes you real. Your life becomes a refuge, not just for yourself, but for others. In a world that often feels chaotic and unkind, your presence becomes a soft light. And that light, quiet, grounded, steady, is what peace truly looks like. The fourth teaching is this: meditation is essential, not optional. Many of us spend our lives moving outward, chasing goals, distractions, validation, noise. But in doing so, we forget to look inward. We forget the quiet space inside that holds the real answers. And without visiting that space, we begin to drift, anxious, reactive, overwhelmed by emotions we don't understand. The mind becomes crowded. The heart feels heavy. Peace becomes a stranger. The problem is not that life is loud. The problem is that we never pause to listen beneath the noise. We wake up and scroll, work and rush, and fall asleep with a racing mind. In this cycle, we lose connection to our true self, the stillness that is always there underneath the storm. We become strangers to our own soul. Buddhism teaches us that meditation is not a luxury or a hobby. It is the way back home. The Buddha found his awakening not in temples, but under a tree in silence. Meditation is not about escaping life. It's about meeting life fully, clearly, with open eyes and a steady heart. When we meditate, we are training the mind to return to this moment, to this breath, to what is real. And in that return, suffering begins to dissolve. The solution is not more doing, it is being. Sitting, breathing, watching the mind without judgment, allowing thoughts to rise and fall like waves. You don't have to control the ocean, just learn to sit calmly on the shore. In time, you'll see that the waves lose their power, and the mind, once chaotic, becomes a gentle stream. Begin simply. Sit in silence for 5 minutes each morning. Just breathe and observe. No goals, no perfection, just presence. Some days, your mind will race. That's okay. The practice is not about stopping thoughts. It's about remembering that you are not your thoughts. You are the awareness that watches. The more you sit, the more that awareness grows. And with it, so does your peace. Meditation is not a quick fix. It is a quiet transformation. It peels away the noise, softens the edges, and reveals a clarity that was always there, waiting. In a world that demands you to be more, do more, and achieve more, meditation asks only one thing. Be here, be now, be still. And in that stillness, you will find not just peace, but yourself. The fifth teaching is this. Karma is a mirror, not a weapon. In the modern world, the word karma is often misunderstood. Some use it as a threat, a punishment, a kind of cosmic revenge. They'll get what's coming, we say, thinking. Karma is out to balance the score. But this is not the spirit of Buddhist wisdom. When we view karma this way, we turn it into something harsh and external, missing its quiet truth. The real problem is that we often live unconsciously. We speak without care, act without awareness, and then wonder why suffering follows us. We blame fate, luck, or other people for the results of seeds we never noticed planting. Life begins to feel unfair not because karma is cruel, but because we haven't yet learned to see its wisdom. Every thought, every word, every action they echo, they ripple. Karma is not about reward or punishment, it's about cause and effect. It's the natural unfolding of our choices. Buddha taught that karma is like a field. Whatever you plant, that is what you will harvest. Plant anger and pain grows, plant kindness and peace follows. It's not magic, it's mindfulness. This truth is not meant to scare you, but to awaken you. Because if karma is simply the result of your actions, then peace is always within reach. Not by changing the world, but by changing how you move within it. The solution is to become conscious, to live with intention, to see clearly that your actions are not isolated. They create the conditions for your future. So choose gently, choose honestly, choose with love, because each moment is an invitation to sow better seeds. Here's a simple practice. Before you speak, pause and ask, will this create harmony or harm? Before you act, reflect. What am I planting with this choice? Don't expect instant results. Nature never hurries, yet everything blooms. Trust that the seeds of compassion, truth, and patience will grow even if you don't see them right away. Live as though your actions matter, because they do. They shape your inner world more than anything else. Karma is not there to punish you. It's there to teach you. It holds up a mirror so you can see yourself clearly. And when you begin to take responsibility not from guilt, but from awareness, your life becomes your own. Peace comes not from escaping karma, but from walking in harmony with it. Let your path be gentle, let your choices be mindful, and let your life be the garden where wisdom grows. The sixth teaching is this: live simply. Joy is found in less. In a world that constantly tells us to want more, buy more, do more, we begin to believe that peace lies somewhere just beyond the next thing. A better phone, a bigger house, a newer version of ourselves. But the more we chase, the more restless we become. We fill our homes with things and our schedules with noise, yet still feel a quiet emptiness inside. The problem isn't that we don't have enough. It's that we've forgotten how little we truly need. Modern life confuses comfort with contentment. We have more convenience than any generation before, and yet anxiety, dissatisfaction, and exhaustion are at an all-time high. Why? Because we're carrying too much, not just physically, but mentally, emotionally, spiritually. We gather, we cling, we compare, and slowly, the weight of more begins to dim the light of our inner peace. Buddhist wisdom gently reminds us that simplicity is not poverty, it is clarity. The Buddha lived with only the robes on his back and a single bowl, not because he rejected life, but because he understood what truly matters. When we live simply, we strip away the unnecessary. We begin to see the beauty in ordinary things, the warmth of sunlight, the rhythm of breath, the smile of another being. Simplicity brings us back to now. The solution is not to throw everything away, but to see what no longer serves your peace. What are you holding on to out of fear, pride, or habit? What clutter, in your space, your mind, your heart, is standing between you and stillness? When you release what's excessive, what's essential begins to shine. Simplicity isn't about restriction, it's about freedom. So begin by observing your daily life. Choose to keep only what brings clarity, not chaos. Instead of filling every moment, allow for space. A quiet walk, a deep breath, a mindful cup of tea. Declutter your home, but also your expectations, your need to impress, your fear of missing out. Let your days breathe. Let them be light. Slowly, you will feel a different kind of richness, one that cannot be bought, only discovered. To live simply is to walk through life with open hands. It is to say, I already have enough. I already am enough. When we stop measuring our lives by what we consume and start honoring what we experience, we come home to a kind of joy that no possession can offer. A joy that is quiet, content, and deeply whole. The seventh teaching is this: impermanence is your superpower. So much of our suffering comes from one deep misunderstanding, the belief that things will stay the same. We hold on tightly to people, moments, emotions, identities, hoping they won't change. But life does not ask for our permission to shift. It moves like the seasons, like rivers, like clouds across the sky. And when we resist that truth, we begin to suffer. We fear endings. We mourn what hasn't even passed yet. We try to freeze joy and fight the natural fading of things. The problem is not change itself. It's our refusal to accept it. We get attached to a version of life, and when it inevitably evolves, we feel betrayed, as if something has gone wrong. But nothing has gone wrong. This is how life works. The flower blooms, and then it falls. The night comes, and then the morning. Every beginning contains its end, and every ending creates the space for something new. Buddhist wisdom teaches that impermanence is not something to fear, but something to understand deeply. The Buddha saw that everything, from our thoughts to our breath to the universe itself, is constantly arising and passing away. And in this truth, lies great freedom. Because if nothing lasts forever, then pain won't either. Neither will sorrow or fear or even loneliness. Everything is always shifting, always becoming something else. There is comfort in knowing that nothing is fixed. The solution, then, is to stop clinging and start flowing. Instead of grasping at what is fading, we can learn to appreciate it more fully. When we remember that every moment is temporary, it becomes more precious. We stop sleepwalking through life and begin to truly see the sound of laughter, the warmth of a hand, the softness of light on water. Impermanence wakes us up. So when things are beautiful, cherish them not because they will last, but because they won't. And when things are difficult, trust that they too will pass. Like a storm, no feeling, no circumstance, no season stays forever. This truth does not need to make us sad. It can make us wise. It can make us soft. It can make us free. Live your life like a leaf in the wind, grounded at the center but willing to move with grace. Let impermanence remind you to love more deeply, to speak more kindly, to waste less time. Because this moment, this one, right now is the only thing that's real. And like everything else, it will pass. So meet it with presence. Meet it with peace. The eighth teaching is this: suffering is inevitable but optional. In every life, there is pain. We lose people we love. Our bodies age. Expectations break. Dreams fall apart. This is the truth no one can escape, no matter how perfect a life may look on the outside. Pain still lives beneath the surface. But the deeper problem is not the pain itself, it's the way we relate to it. We resist it. We panic. We ask, why me? And in doing so, we turn pain into suffering. There's a quiet difference between pain and suffering. Pain is what happens: a loss, a wound, a heartbreak. Suffering is what we build around that pain: the stories, the fears, the refusal to let go. When we fight what is, when we reject reality, we tighten, we harden, and the pain deepens. But peace is not found in denying pain. It is found in how gently we're willing to meet it. Buddhist wisdom begins with this very truth: life contains suffering. The Buddha called it dukkha, but he didn't stop there. He showed that while pain is part of being human, suffering is something we can transform. Through mindfulness, compassion, and understanding, we can sit with our pain without being consumed by it. Like holding a crying child, we don't push it away and we don't become it. We simply offer it presence. The solution is not to escape suffering, but to soften into it with awareness. When we stop saying, "This shouldn't be happening," and start saying, "This is happening, how can I meet it with kindness?" something shifts. A space opens up around the pain. It doesn't disappear, but it becomes less sharp, less defining. We begin to feel ourselves again, not as victims of life, but as quiet witnesses who can endure, learn, and grow. When you're in pain, don't rush to fix it. Sit with it. Breathe into it. Place your hand on your heart and remind yourself this is part of being alive. And then ask, what does this moment need? Maybe it needs silence. Maybe it needs a walk. Maybe it needs tears. Whatever it is, let it be enough. Don't make your pain wrong. Don't make yourself wrong. Healing begins with acceptance. And know this, you are not alone. Every being you see is carrying something heavy. And just like you, they are trying to make sense of it all. When you understand this, compassion naturally rises. Your own suffering becomes a bridge to connect with others, not a wall to divide you from the world. So yes, pain is part of this life, but suffering, that's how we respond. And within that response lies your greatest freedom. You cannot always control what life gives you, but you can choose to meet it with gentleness, with presence, and with courage. And in that choice, suffering loses its grip and peace begins to rise. The ninth teaching is this: compassion liberates the heart. In a world where people often move quickly, speak sharply, and look past each other, it's easy to become guarded. Many of us carry silent pain, betrayal, disappointment, loneliness, and over time these wounds harden into armor. We protect ourselves by closing off, building walls around the heart. But the problem is, when the heart is closed, peace cannot enter. Neither can joy. And we start to believe that disconnection is just how life is. We are taught to compete instead of connect, to judge instead of understand. We see differences as threats. We rush through days without pausing to truly see one another. But deep down, all beings are longing for the same thing: to feel safe, seen, and loved. The more we forget this, the more we suffer. Not just alone, but together. Buddhist wisdom teaches that compassion is not weakness. It is strength. It is the brave act of keeping your heart open in a world that so often wants you to shut it down. Compassion is not pity. It's not about fixing others. It is the simple, sacred recognition. Just like me, this person suffers. Just like me, they want peace. When we see others through this lens, the illusion of separation begins to dissolve, and what's left is connection. Real, soft, human connection. The solution to the hardening of the world is not more control or more distance. It's more tenderness. When we turn toward others with kindness, even silently, we shift the energy around us. This doesn't mean we agree with everyone or accept harm. It means we choose to see the humanity beneath the behavior. And that choice is freeing, not just for them, but for us. Because the one who hates suffers the most, and the one who forgives is the one who heals. Begin where you are. The next time someone annoys you, frustrates you, or seems lost, pause. Breathe. Instead of reacting, silently offer them this thought: may you be free from suffering. May you find peace. You don't need to say it out loud. Just feel it. Let it rise from your heart, like a soft breeze through a heavy room. You'll notice something shift, not always outside, but inside. And that shift is everything. You don't need to be perfect to practice compassion. You just need to remember that everyone is carrying something. Everyone is doing their best with what they know. And when you meet them with gentleness, something sacred happens. Your heart expands, your burden lightens, and in giving peace, you receive it. So let your compassion be your strength. Let it guide your voice, your thoughts, your presence. In a world that can be cold and sharp, choose to be the warm space where others feel safe to breathe. That too is the path of awakening. The 10th teaching is this: walk the middle path. In life, we often swing between extremes. We push too hard, then collapse in exhaustion. We restrict ourselves tightly, then break into indulgence. We want control, then feel overwhelmed. Back and forth, we swing like a pendulum, trying to find peace in the extremes, but peace never lives there. The problem is, we are taught to believe that more effort always means more success, or that complete avoidance means safety. But neither approach brings lasting balance. Both lead to burnout or emptiness. Without steadiness, we suffer. Buddha, too, once lived in extremes. First in wealth and luxury, then in self-denial and near starvation. But he found no freedom in either. It was only when he sat beneath the Bodhi tree and discovered the middle way, not too tight, not too loose, that awakening dawned. This path, the middle path, is not about moderation for its own sake. It's about harmony. It's about wisdom. It's the gentle art of knowing what is enough. The solution is to step out of the tug-of-war, to stop chasing perfection or falling into neglect, and instead choose the steady ground between. This path honors both discipline and rest, effort and ease, clarity and compassion. It's not rigid, it listens, it adjusts. Like a musician tuning an instrument, the middle path invites us to find the note where life sounds just right. Not forced, not fading, but true. In practice, this might look like checking in with yourself daily, asking, am I nourishing my body and mind without overindulging or depriving? Am I allowing joy without getting lost in distraction? Am I working with focus, but also giving space to breathe? You don't need to live in a monastery to follow the middle path. You just need to meet each moment with awareness and respond with balance. Not too much, not too little, just enough. When you walk this path, you begin to feel something rare: steadiness. Life no longer pulls you into highs and lows with such force. You become anchored, not in stubbornness, but in presence. You know when to act and when to rest, when to speak and when to listen. You move with the rhythm of life, not against it. So walk the middle path, not to be safe, but to be free. In its quiet steadiness, you'll find what no extreme can offer: clarity, compassion, and deep enduring peace. And like the Buddha, you'll come to see that balance is not weakness. It is the very heart of wisdom. And so, we've walked together through 10 timeless teachings, each one a quiet doorway into peace. Not a peace that comes from escaping the world, but a peace that lives within the world. A peace that begins with how we breathe, how we speak, how we move through our days. We've learned to let go, to train the mind, to live with moral clarity. We've been reminded to meditate, to trust karma, to embrace simplicity. We've seen how impermanence humbles us, how suffering can awaken us, how compassion connects us, and how balance sustains us. These are not just ideas. They are practices, lived truths. They do not require you to become someone else. They invite you to return to who you've always been, underneath the noise. Buddhism does not promise a life without hardship, but it offers us the tools to meet hardship with grace, to sit with discomfort without being broken by it, and to love this fleeting life with open, steady hands. So as you go forward, carry these teachings like a lantern, not heavy, but luminous. You don't need to master them all at once. Just choose one. Begin there. Walk slowly, breathe deeply, live kindly, and let peace unfold, not as a destination, but as your natural way of being.